we also want some specific dates when the opposition sets the agenda. You know, the opposition go around saying, for us, we have no say. But these guys are many. When Mao is speaker, Mao is going to say, opposition, you also represent a section. Now, what is important to you? Bring it on in the agenda. No hiding. No hiding. Because they just keep reacting. Ping pong, ping pong, ping pong. How can you have politics of ping pong, ping pong? We cannot have ping pong. When are you going to initiate also? This time the government says the ping must come from your side. We are also going to do the ponging. So start. Like in a game, they say you serve now. You are saying that I'm bringing a bullet. You now bring your bullet and we see. That is what will happen when Mao is speaker. Number 3, I will ensure that a special session is held annually, and the agenda of that session must be based on suggestions from the public. It should focus on issues the public wants. First of all, the majority of members of parliament are not in touch with their public. So we may as well directly invite the public to suggest, what do you want us to talk about? Do you want us to talk about the Ugandans that are being exported as labor? Do you want us to talk about land conflicts, land grabbing? Do you want us to talk about teenage pregnancy? The public should have an avenue. We also want the Prime Minister's question time to be a very serious session to ensure that Parliament upholds the principle of government accountability. It shouldn't be an empty ritual. We have opposed and opposed and opposed, and yet we were the first government before independence. Some of you young DPs have even forgotten that your party has ever been in power. You have been threatened so much, you are so timid that you can't even walk upright. Stand up and walk upright. You are heirs to a proud tradition. If the president of Uganda is not ashamed to introduce himself as a DP, though he says that his DP is not the one of Mao, I need to find out which one was his DP. He says, no, that is DP of Mao. Maybe because of the bickering and the small thinking in the DP elite. Because if you have people whose only thinking is Mao yafuna anzi safuna, that's the reason why they are running around. But it is not true. There was a time they also funad, only that they have forgotten. There was a time they also got, and Mao was leading his normal life, not complaining. The Baganda say, yagaliza ofune, atayagaliza tafuna. Because I was doing okwagaliza, that's where I ended up in the cabinet. But to make that a matter of life and death to the extent that you want to tear your party apart, you look at the way the opposition is. FDC came from NRM. They then said Mugisha Muntu is a mole. He left. Then those who remained again disagreed. That means Mugisha Muntu was not the problem. Now you have PFF. So a party which was solid like FDC now has 10 members of parliament. 9. It was, in our place there, it was the biggest challenger to NRM. Now, after NRM, the next party is DP. Then we had our friends in DP here. They said Mao is a dictator. He is not leading the party well. That he is a mole. He doesn't want to work together with other opposition. That this is a party for their grandfathers. And Mao is an imposter. That my umbilical cord was not buried in their graveyards. So they left. They went to NUP. They reached there, then they quarreled. I wasn't there. They were by them. So was I still the problem? So I have given advice to our sister party, NRM, and it's just advice. I'm in no position to direct anyone. I've also given advice as an elder to the pressure group of the PLU. Now I want to talk to, and in that I said, you know, I'm also a respected elder within the PLU, as you know. So let me offer some advice. And this is not the first time I've offered advice. The first advice I gave one time was when some of them wanted to register a political party. And I told them that we also face that dilemma as members of Uganda Young Democrats, UYD. There was a time we were so frustrated with our party. It appeared stuck, they were bickering, they were slow. We wanted to form a party. Fortunately, we eventually debated and we agreed that no. What we should endeavor to do is to ensure that one of us takes over the leadership of the party. That's why I'm here. Yes, it is the UYD which propelled me. So I agree that the PLU will determine the next generation of leaders of NRM, from the top to all the levels. That's okay. That requires discipline. The other example is the Tea Party in the Republican Party of America. They became a force, and they're the ones who revolutionized the Congress and the Senate, and they even were the force behind Donald Trump. Now, in a situation where any survey, any of you in the media, you have seen all surveys that have been done online, offline. Even if you go to the border stage now and you ask, who do you want to be the speaker? They'll say Mao. Mao.